Welcome back, Ellen.
Thank you, Jason.
All right, we have a question, right?
We do. We have a great question.
Yeah, we just want to get right into this question that's so interesting.
Yeah, I'll read it.
Okay.
I've been working on overcoming an anxious attachment and have been trying to meet most or all of my emotional needs on my own. It has me questioning, if I am soothing myself, why do I even need a relationship? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yes, we do.
We have some thoughts.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I love the question of why would I even need a relationship if I'm just taking care of all of my own emotional needs?
Yeah.
It's a good question. What would a relationship be for at that point?
Right, if I can just kind of be there for myself, I kind of don't need a human being in my life. Yeah.
I mean, if we were that good at that, if we were that good at meeting all of our needs, I guess we wouldn't.
I mean, I think we just all live alone.
Right.
In our own little houses, and we never need a relationship or something.
Because
it would be so weird.
Yeah. I mean, because I think at that point it would feel like other people are just complicating things versus making them better.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm putting myself into this person's shoes, I'm like, okay, if I'm really just soothing myself, I kind of don't need anybody. It feels bleak.
It feels kind of bleak and sad.
It feels kind of like non-relational or something.
Yeah. Right. Like somewhere people get the message that you're just supposed to self-soothe and kind of take care of your own internal upset and that's all you're supposed to do. And then you come to your relationships not needing anything.
Right.
Like that would be, you'd make an ideal partner if you could do that. That's sort of there's a message out there about that.
Yeah. Don't need anything. Handle your own triggers and your own stuff by yourself and kind of don't bother the other person with all of your own pain or upset.
And then you'll be a really attractive partner.
Yeah, then you'll be really sexy and stuff because you don't have needs. It sounds pretty bad.
It sounds bad. And it's not human. It's not based on human beings.
It's not based on how we're wired.
No.
Social mammals. So let's start to step into this because there's a lot of validity actually in being able to soothe oneself.
Right. You also do want to be able to work with your inner world and understand what's going on, be curious about it, be willing to be with it.
Yeah.
And
is this your tea?
Drinking my tea.
What is this?
You can
Green
drink my
tea?
No, it's I mixed some herbs and
ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Let's self-soothing. What does that even mean? Let's talk about self-soothing. Right. I picture a child sucking its thumb or something when I picture self-soothing.
That's a way of self-soothing.
Right?
Yeah.
I've got to, I don't know, put a pacifier in my mouth to, I don't know, be okay or something.
Yeah, to calm down.
Yeah.
Self-soothing, maybe it's, there's something about calming, soothing. Soothing's like calming oneself.
Yeah. And this is where people get confused on self-regulation versus calming.
Being calm,
which are different. Self-regulation being that it's actually the ability to ride a wave to completion. Mm-hmm. And calming down is trying to stop the wave because it's so upsetting so that I can be relaxed or something.
Right. Because it's feeling too intense.
Yeah. And I need to calm down because this is bad. I need to hurry up and calm down rather than I need to stay with this and just breathe into it and ride it. Mm-hmm. That's sort of how I see it.
Yeah, we need both, right?
Yeah.
We need to be able to self-regulate, which Jason's saying is being able to sort of ride the waves of our own nervous system, which have ebbs and flows and peaks and valleys, and being able to sort of work with that and not be just hijacked by it. And then self-soothing is when we are upset or when we are kind of overwhelmed in some way, we want to also be able to calm ourselves or relax, consciously slow down, relax. There's ways to do that physically and mentally and all of that.
Yeah, and I recorded a podcast on the difference between self-soothing or self-regulation and being calm. So go check out that episode if you want.
Right. So this question, we're kind of just like talking about what comes to mind around like why would we need a relationship if we're supposed to self-soothe ourselves? If that is like sort of the ultimate goal as an adult is to be someone who can self-soothe, why do we need each other? And I think this person has been working on developing their capacity to self-soothe and is trying to question, like, well, then where is this leading? Like, if I get really good at this, am I going to even need another person? And it's such a good question.
It is, because, again, the paradigm I think that the question is coming from, the implication is, this is what I should be doing because that equals a successful relationship.
Right. And being a good adult.
Yeah, being a good adult. And I think what, earlier in our relationship, this was sort of more of the paradigm we were in is like, you self-soothe, I'll self-soothe, we'll be okay type of, I think this is where people this is where they're coming from. If you self-soothe and I self-soothe, we will be okay.
Yeah, this idea of if I get upset, I'm really upset, I'm gonna go like figure that out.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna come back to you having figured that out, and I'll be calmer and more coherent, and then I'll just report out to you sort of what that was, and you don't ever have to like really deal with that in real time. I
don't have to deal with you or your emotions or feelings.
Like as they're happening.
Yeah. No, because you've taken care of that.
Because I'm sort of like, wow, or we get into like oh my gosh, all of a sudden we're arguing, and it's like, hey, I'm going to go, I don't know what's going on, so I'll just go deal with that.
Yeah.
And then come back and tell you, or you would do that. And I think...
I remember saying to you,
God.
back in the day, I'd be like, well, you seem to be the one that's upset here, so just go figure that out, and I'm available, let me know when you're done.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
It was something like that.
Something
like that. Like, hey, I'm here when you've figured out what the hell is happening for you.
But I'm not going to help you figure that out.
Right. That's yours to do. Like, the message was like, that's yours to do. And on some level, part of us agreed to that, but then I think also at a certain point that didn't feel good.
No. I mean, we
weren't psyched on that.
No. What starts to get missed here is if I come back to this two-boat metaphor that I love, we're out in the ocean, Ellen and I, and our boats are tied together in a thing called a partnership. We've agreed that we're combining forces here and that we're saying, we want to learn how to collaborate out here. And so if you get upset and I get upset and we just stay on our little sides of the boat, there's something very punitive or weird about that.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, what did I do that caused the upset over there, and how can I make it better?
Right. Or just taking an interest in the moment. Like, oh, you're really upset. I'm curious what's happening. Like, I could just sit here with you or while you talk about it, or feel like I could sort of be here as you're with your experience.
Yeah.
And I'm with mine, and I'm someone who cares about you, and so I'm interested.
And that helps me, actually, because you're genuinely interested. That helps me maybe start to self-reflect and calm down and like go, what is this? And what's going on between us? And this feels bad, and how do we make it better as a team?
Yeah, and this is how we're built. So what we're describing right now is what we're built to do as like in our bodies and in our minds and in our nervous systems. We're built to actually help each other with our internal feelings and states by being present, being curious, being interested. Our faces convey emotion so that someone can do something, which is like maybe just respond, or maybe just like, oh, something's going on there, because we do better. We're more efficient and able to work through things easier with another human being.
Yeah.
That's how we're built. But our culture, and a lot of our families' cultures, and then the whole overculture in Western culture, is very much about doing this all by yourself, like being independent and not relying on other people, because
that's bad.
That's risky. Other people are undependable, all those things. And so you need to learn as soon as possible in life how to like this person saying, like how to self-soothe.
Yeah.
And so there's so many ways we could talk about this. Like my mind is going in all these directions right now.
Me too, yeah.
So as adults, if we're talking about just mutual adults, adults in a mutual partnership, there's two people wanting to be partnered, let's say. It is, when we're using each other to support each other through emotional stuff, when we're leaning on each other, when we're just taking an interest in each other's emotional life, that is using a part of our nervous system that can interactively regulate. So we said something about self-regulation before.
Yeah.
We're also able to interactively regulate. It's more complex, it's more advanced. It's like takes, we have to, takes a certain kind of development in our brain and nervous system to be able to do it well. But it's a part of us that we have and we have access to, and that a lot of people don't utilize enough. Like when I'm working with couples, usually I'm helping them use that system more because it's so underutilized. And then it's part of why they're getting stuck and disconnected is because they don't know how to actually utilize another human when it comes to working through emotional material, which is, I think, the whole point of having close relationships is so we can work through and feel emotionally connected, and relationships provide so much meaning and joy and depth in life. Like that's, if we're not sharing with each other in that way, it's, I think, pretty bleak.
It's pretty bleak, yeah. And I think what we're also getting at here is you're building security in the partnership over time if you learn how to handle each other's upset and emotions and your own. So it's about self-regulation and interactive regulation. So back to answering the question, it's like both.
It's both.
Yeah, great job being able to self-soothe. And can you also learn how to soothe your partner, and can they do the same? They can self-soothe, but they can also learn what works to soothe you and be there for you. And that over time builds security.
Yeah. And to be able to really show up for and take an interest like in your emotional experience, I have to be able to self-regulate.
Right.
It's not, wow, I put all my resources over here and I check out of myself and I do some kind of magical thing where you feel calmer. It's like, no, I have to...
You have to have yourself.
I have to be tracking like, oh, this is intense for me, or oh, I feel kind of, maybe I was the cause of that. I feel kind of bad about that, or like, oh, this kind of scares me. What's going on for you? Like all that could happen for me, and I'm kind of being with that as I show up for you by taking an interest in and care in some way and support you just even through my presence. Like we don't have to do a lot. Like there isn't a lot to do.
Right.
I don't think.
Yeah. And I think again, you just got to do both. That's kind of what we're recommending here.
The short answer is
and
self-regulate and interactively regulate.
Yeah, and notice if you come from a culture of go to your room and deal with it by yourself. You know, a lot of parents say go to your room when the parents dysregulated.
Right.
And the kids dysregulated. And that gives the parents time to kind of self-soothe or whatever. But you're expecting a 4-year-old or a 2-year-old or whatever, a 10-year-old to like figure it out. And that's this is where we start reaching for our phones and things like that to self-soothe versus actually self-regulating, being with our experience. And that's what we want you to get good at over time, is how do I be with all that's coming up for me in my experience and learn how to do that when you're going through something.
Right. And the way we learn that best is through our parents, through our parents growing up. And a lot of us maybe didn't get that. That's okay. We can learn it as adults. We all have the capacity.
Yeah.
And you said something about, like some people growing up in a family where they got the message like, hey, if you're upset or angry or scared or emotional, like, go away. And then some people got the message that if they were having feelings, that was like a big stressor.
Yeah. Oh no, like hey, you're fine.
Anxious. You're okay. I'm here. I've got you. If you're upset in some way, that's a reason to be, your parents felt anxious about that. And so that person is maybe more like, potentially, I'm guessing, the person who's asking this question, who's like, wow, I had to work on, person asking these questions, like, I had to work on self-soothing because potentially maybe they got a lot of like kind of anxious and kind of overly involved kind of soothing.
Yeah.
So they didn't have space.
I got some of that, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have any space
Right.
to figure out their own way. They didn't have someone close, but not too close, so that they could find their way with soothing themselves. Because gradually over time, we do want our kids to become adults who can traverse this space in between, like know when they, wow, I really need someone right now, or I'm going to need someone in a few hours or tomorrow, or I can be okay with myself for a little while, but I can also utilize another person. Like, we want to be able to use the full range of our capacities, right?
Yeah, you're going to be in stronger relationships if you know how to do both. Self-soothe, soothe the other person. Yep.
Yeah, and there's sort of this other piece about like interactively regulating, which is we're both engaging in what's happening within us and between us, and we're managing that material together. So there is like, sometimes I tend to you and it's not really about me, or you tend to me, but other times it's like we're hearing this together.
Yeah.
And we're navigating maybe I'm stressed about something, you're supporting me, but I'm also interested in how that's impacting you.
Yeah.
And appreciating how you're showing up or whatever. Like, it's a back and forth process.
So, amazing question. Thank you for the question. Hopefully this is helpful.
Yeah. I hope so.
And this question, I think, came to us on YouTube. So remember, we're always scanning your questions on social media. And it's really awesome if you can leave questions below any of the videos or podcast episodes, etc. And we'll try to get to it.
We love the questions, and please keep them coming.
Yeah. That was a good episode. Thanks, Ellen, again, for being here. Quick action step is to commit to this journey around self-regulation and interactive regulation. Or put simply, which is not quite as accurate, self-soothe, get good at self-soothing, but also get good at soothing and being there for someone else, right? Especially your intimate partner. Make that internal commitment. Share that with a friend that, hey, I am committed to being there for myself when I'm upset, and also being there for the people I love when I'm upset. And I want a partner who is doing the same with me. They can be there for themselves, and they can be here for me once in a while when I need some soothing or some regulation. Yes. Right? Amazing. Thanks for listening, as always. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Don't forget to pre-order my book. It's out now. It means a ton to me if you can knock that out, because the algorithm pays attention to books that get lots of pre-orders. Will you do me that massive favor? Go to gettingtozerobook.com and you can pre-order at your local indie store or through bookshop.org or Amazon or Barnes & Noble. You get to decide, and you get special bonuses and perks when you pre-order, like a mini course on conflict, and you get to read chapter 1, basically for free. Okay, you're getting that as a little thank you. Amazing. Please be one of those people that's going to work through conflict. The world needs you right now. The world needs us. Okay, take care. If you're in pain relationally and you need immediate support, our coaches can help you. I've trained almost 100 coaches at this point, relationship coaches that are amazing humans, and they have the chops to help you get through this hard time, this hard moment you're going through. Or if you want to actually hire a coach and have someone in your corner to continue to up-level your communication skills, your listening skills, your conflict skills, these folks are incredible, okay? So all you need to do is go to relationshipschool.com/MRC. That stands for My Relationship Coach. So relationshipschool.com www.jayson.com/MRC. All right, if you want immediate, direct, effective help, check them out. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. Share one of these videos with a friend. We want to help the planet get their act together around relationships, and you are one of them, so thank you.